Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. Today's video is a long overdue, long time promised but not delivered house renovation update tour, well, bungalow tour update. And I have been meaning to do this video for so long, and I've kept saying it's coming soon, but I've kind of been putting it off because I didn't really know how I wanted to film it so that I could sort of show how it was looking. Basically, I've got a lot of footage of the different stages of the renovation, from kind of when we first bought it to when we sort of gutted it, knocking down walls, building things back up. Yeah, you know, there's a little bit of footage of loads of stuff that's gone on, and I kind of wanted to include that in this video so I could sort of show you how it's gradually changed along the way, but I didn't want to make it too long-winded or too kind of like, yeah, just too much unnecessary footage. So what I thought I'd do is kind of like chat through the stages of what's been done, and then insert like video footage of what I've got along the way, so you can kind of slowly see it gradually changing. And then at the end of the video, I'll do sort of like an updated house tour as to how it looks now. But if you are new to my channel and you have just clicked on this video to watch a kind of house tour renovation update, then I thought I'd just give you a little bit of background information. Basically, this was my nan's bungalow. My mum grew up here from when she was very young, and then my sister and I spent loads of time here growing up as well. So it's got a lot of happy memories, and so when my nan passed away, the house was left to my mum and my uncle, and Louis and I decided we wanted to buy it off of them and renovate it and give it a new lease of life. And there are some videos of when we first bought the house and the different stages along the way, so I will leave them linked below if you would like to see them. But I'm also going to insert some videos now to show how it looked when we first bought it. So I don't know if you remember from the first house tour I did, but when you looked at the house from outside, the front door was on the left-hand side, and we've now moved it to the right-hand side just because it worked better for the new layout of the house that we had. I'm just going to set some footage now to show you how it was when we first bought it. But as you walked through the front door, there was a little porch at the front, and on the right-hand side was like a little office that used to be my granddad's office. In the footage, I think it just looks like it's a bit cluttered full of stuff. And then in front of you was the living room, which is actually now this bedroom, weirdly. But yeah, that was always my nan's living room, and I remember me and my sister thought it was the poshest house ever when we were children. And I'm so glad I've still got this footage to show me what it looks like, because there are so many happy memories here. From the living room, you come through into the dining room. There's like a little sliding door into the dining room, and then another little door into the kitchen as well, which again needed a lot of updating and is no longer a kitchen. In fact, we flipped the whole house, so the kitchen, dining area, living area is now at the back of the house that I'm showing you now, which was my nan's bedroom, and then this one was the spare bedroom. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that footage as a little reminder as to how it looked when we first bought it towards the end of last year. And then the first thing we did, which wasn't pleasant, but we had to kind of like gut the whole house and get rid of everything to be able to sort of start from scratch. We had to kind of like strip the wallpapers, and then we ripped out the kitchen, so we got all of that out, kind of got rid of that just to leave us with an empty shell and a bit more of a blank canvas so that we could work a lot easier in there. This is what the living room looked like after we'd got everything out and taken up the floors as well. I love how we decided to leave the curtains in even though we'd taken everything else out. But as you can see, it looked awful. It was a building site. And then we kind of rebuilt a lot of the walls. The stud walls went up where we'd be having new internal walls. I say we, Lou did a lot of it, and I occasionally helped him every now and then. And he had help from other people as well, but yeah, it was mostly him. I'm using the term we very loosely. And then we basically knocked down the whole of the back of the house except the external walls. So as you can see in this footage, we also took the roof off as well because that was being repitched, because we decided we wanted a vaulted ceiling at the back of the house, because that's now going to be our living area. We wanted it to kind of be big and spacious and feel kind of light and bright. So this footage is showing the back of the house, how it looked at the beginning of the year, with steels and no roof and no floor, and it was just awful. It was literally just wet and muddy and like a complete building site. In fact, worse than a building site. It was awful. You can kind of see that bit of pink wallpaper there. That was my nan's bedroom. And then the rest of it, the grey blocks, that's the extension. Then it was finally time for the roof to be repitched. As you can see, we decided to go for 2 Velux windows either side, just to really brighten up that area and give it loads of light. And then that's the flat roof extension. That is going to be where the kitchen is, and then the utility room at the back of the house. One of the next jobs was to insulate the floor, ready for the underfloor heating pipes to go down. Don't get me wrong, I've missed out so many steps along the way. Obviously there's tons of groundwork that's gone in, Louis rewiring everything, just loads and loads, but I'm just kind of chatting through bits of footage that I've got of like the big steps. And then it was time for the underfloor heating pipes to go down. So as you can see, we've got underfloor heating throughout the whole back of the house, so in the utility room, kitchen, and then into like the dining living area. Another big change was the addition of the bifold doors. We decided to go for aluminium bifold doors, and we went for the white on the inside and then the anthracite on the outside to match the rest of our windows. This is a little bit of footage of the liquid screed going down on top of the underfloor heating pipes. And that is just to level out the floor completely, make sure it's, yeah, completely level, obviously. And it was very therapeutic to watch. Lou and I sat up on like the loft beams up high. You can kind of see from this bit where we're sort of sitting, and we just sort of perched up there and watched them put it all down, which was very therapeutic. And it was watching them kind of like level it all out with their little sticks was just, yeah, just very nice to watch. And then one of the next jobs was for the whole of the house to be plasterboarded. I never want to see a sheet of plasterboard again in my life. And we also had a scaffolding platform put in the sort of living area, so that obviously anything that needed to be doing could be done, because obviously you couldn't reach the ceiling where it was so high up. So that's what that contraption is. And yeah, that's how our kitchen looked when it was first plasterboarded, before it was plastered. And then we had a team of plasterers come in to plaster the whole of the house. I was actually working away for a few days when they were there, so I said to Lou, could he film a little bit of footage for me, just so I could kind of see, well, so that I had some footage to show it going up. So yeah, this is what the pre-plastered house looked like. I think it was quite a big job to do that ceiling, because I don't really know much about plastering, but I'm pretty sure once you start, you can't stop, because you have to keep kind of, it has to be workable. So I think there was a few guys working on that big ceiling for the one day. But yeah, that was how it looked when it was freshly plastered, looking rather terracotta. And then as soon as the plaster was dry that weekend, Lou and I got up on the scaffolding platform with our rollers and paintbrushes and got to work. And that pretty much takes us to where we are now. So what I'm gonna do is take my little camera and do like a little bit of a walk around of a house tour, so you can kind of see the layout and get a feel for the new layout, how it's looking now. Okay, so as you step in the newly positioned front door, this is now our hallway. So it's not very exciting at the moment. We have just painted everything white just to tide us over. Not really sure what colour we're going to go in here, but I do want to put a console table there where the plug socket is. I think there's going to be a console table kind of opposite you as you step in the front door. And then on the left hand side, I think I'll probably put a full length mirror here, you know, just so you can check your outfit before you leave the house. If I show you from the other side, then this is our new front door. Please excuse the mess of it, it needs a clean. It's kind of still covered in plaster where it was all wiped off. And then this is going to be a coat cupboard, so obviously that needs a door and it needs to be painted. But this was actually the dining room before, so where the window was, that's been knocked down all the way to the bottom to create the space for the front door and the 2 side lights. And then if we go through this door on the left hand side, this is going to be my office, where I'm sure I will be spending a lot of time. So there's new windows in here, new radiators, Again, we've just painted it white for now, but I have got the paint colour that I am going to do in here. You can see there's some swatches all dotted around the room where I was trying to decide what colour to go for. But I think I might paint in here next week. But this was obviously the kitchen before. I'll insert some footage again to remind you how it looked when it was a kitchen. And there was also a door on the right hand side which we blocked up. It was a door out to kind of like a little porch area, but it was just a bit pointless for us, so we blocked the door up and knocked the porch down as well. Okay, so if we just go back out into the hallway and then round here. On the right, these will be double doors here. I think they're just going to be clear glass ones, but I'm not entirely sure yet, but obviously that's just the frame that's in there at the moment. And then as you go through the double doors, this is going to be the living area. So it is, I mean, there's a lot of mess underneath the scaffolding at the moment because it's the only place we've got to store things. But as you can see, it's a huge difference when you look up. It kind of looks dark on my camera because it's so bright in here, it's making the camera go darker. But I'll show you from the other side because it is so bright in this room now. We've got 2 Veluxes in, which are letting in loads of light. And then the ceiling has been painted white. It does need one more coat because it's not completely done. But the ceiling's been painted white, and then we're going to paint the walls later on this evening, I think. And they're just going to go a pale grey, like a really light grey, just to sort of keep it nice and neutral, but with a bit of colour. Oh, it's gone blurry. And then if I show you from this angle over here, you can see that it's really brightened the room up. We are going to have a big chandelier, well, some sort of light there. I don't really know what. I don't want like a kind of classic chandelier, but some sort of big light. And then there'll be downlights to either side. And then over here will be our kitchen. So in the middle here, where those wires are and where that hop-up bench is as well, you can kind of see there's like a red outline there, but this will be the island, like the kitchen island, and the hob's going to be on the island, which is why the wires are coming out of the floor there. So that'll be an island there with a hob on it, and then there'll be like 3 seats facing that way so that you can kind of cook and sit and, yeah, keeping it really social. The TV will be up on that wall over there at the back, so it will just be like a really social area, and it'll mean that kind of when people are sitting on the sofa watching TV, if I'm in the kitchen cooking, it's nice and kind of open. Okay, so as I come back out into the hallway, that door there is where our main bathroom will be. But I'm not going to show you that now, just because it is full of like tile stuff and it's just a bit of a mess in there, and it's kind of half finished. So I'm going to leave that for now, sorry. And then if you turn right and carry on down the hallway, at the end of the hallway, this is now a plastered but not painted spare room. So this was actually the garage. I'll insert like a couple of pictures of how this looked before, but this was a garage. So obviously we've put a window in there, it's been plastered, and it is also full of a lot of crap. A lot of building materials that are just kind of in the way, but we've got nowhere else to put them at the moment. So yeah, excuse all the mess in here. And then if I kind of just poke in here, you can see that this will be an ensuite bathroom for this room. So this will kind of be like our guest room where friends and family will stay, obviously, and guests. But yeah, this room will obviously be one of the last rooms that we work on, but hopefully we'll get to it soon, hopefully. So if you come back out into the hallway, there's a little bit of the wall that kind of dips in here. I don't know if you can tell, but I think we're going to put some shelves up here just to kind of utilise that little bit of space. And then as we go up here, I don't know if you recognise this area, but actually right there is where the front door used to be. So obviously that's been blocked up, and that's now going to be a radiator there. And then in front of us is my granddad's old office, which again hasn't changed that much. It's just been plastered, new windows, but they also need a good wash down because they're also covered in plaster. But we decided to keep that little bit that goes in the wall there as well, because we just thought we could use that to also put some shelves in. But again, this room's a mess at the moment. We're using this as our painting room, so lots of paint, lots of clutter. but I'm going to have this room as like a little dressing room, because I thought as it's close to our bedroom, it'll be a perfect little kind of walk-in wardrobe slash dressing room. So I'm very excited to kind of get to work on this room. An exciting little project for me. So obviously this little area here used to be the front porch, so we've still got all the gas and electricity meters that used to be there, but Lou's dad kind of built a little wardrobe around it. It does need a door on it, but that will be a kind of cupboard for towels and bedding and just bits and bobs really. And then this door is now the door to our bedroom, which was once the door to the living room. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit here and insert a bit of footage of how the bedroom looked a little while ago before we moved our bed in, because at the moment we're just using it as like, it's like the only room we've got to live in, so it's full of clutter. It looks awful in there. So I kind of want to show it to you how it looks like before and after when it was the lounge, and then now how it looks if it didn't have all the crap in it, basically. So I'll insert some footage of that rather than go in here now and show you. So obviously we've just painted it white, but again, we are going to change it. It's got skirting in, but we've just put in an old bed, and family have just lent us old bits of furniture to just sort of tide us over. But as you can see, it looks a lot different to how it looked when it was a living room, and it doesn't look very nice at the moment because it is just a complete empty shell. But I've got some really good ideas for this room, and I'm really excited to kind of get stuck into it and make it look amazing. And then I'll just quickly show you what our little ensuite looks like if you haven't already seen. Basically, I did do a video, a kind of before and after video of this room where I showed myself tiling it and kind of painting it, I think. But yeah, basically this was like a little bit of a project for me, so I did do a video on that. I will leave a link below if you do want to see it. But yeah, it hasn't actually changed at all since that video. In fact, this mirror still hasn't been put up on the wall, and the stickers still haven't been taken off it, so that's not very good at all. But yeah, also need new wall lights and, like I said, some pictures and a bit of, yeah, it needs finishing off in here, but this is just what it looks like in here at the moment. Thought I'd just give you a quick little look of our little ensuite, and I love it. Love the tiles, love this unit. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that's the updated house tour. I hope it was worth waiting for. I have got loads more house content coming soon, with the new kitchen that will be going in and just loads of different kind of house updates. So yeah, there'll be lots of content coming soon, so if you would like to see that, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and hopefully there'll be another house update coming next week. But yeah, really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to hear your feedback as well, so do leave a comment below and let me know what you're thinking of it all. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully see you again in my next video. Bye.